So recently, I've been uploading videos from a certain game that is known as Mighty Fight Federation. But there have been a few of you that have been asking me as to what exactly is this game? Well, that's what this video is all about. So for today, I'm here to answer the question, what exactly is Mighty Fight Federation? Let's find out, shall we? Created by Komi and Forthright Entertainment, apologies if I ended up getting that wrong down the line, I present to you a game that I really doubt people have ever known about and has an interesting amount of characters and even some guest characters that, to my genuine surprise when I first discovered this on a bargain sale, ended up giving me a lot more than I asked for.
Mighty Fight Federation!
So you might be already asking yourself, what the heck is Mighty Fight Federation? Well, to be very descriptive as to what this is, it is basically if Smash Brothers and Power Stone made a love child together, or pretty much just decided to combine forces and, I guess to those of you who've known Dragon Ball for such a long period of time, did a fusion and ended up becoming a very, very strong idea that when basically made into this, actually is pretty decent. So with a variety of original and guest characters, this includes Yooka-Laylee, ToeJam and Earl, Miriam from Bloodstain, and Kunio and Ricky from the River City Ransom series, you have an interesting cast of characters. Some may not look at much, but have a very interesting backstory as to why they're in this game. Oh yeah, actual backstory. And as you can see, based on what you're looking at, even like intros and endings. Oh, by the way, Hyperion, as you see here, is literally the final boss of the game. And why does he look like Mag Hagar with Bison if they did a fusion dance together while somehow tripping over a lava lamp? I don't know. I'm not going to question it. All I know is that apparently exists for a character, and you know what? That's what happens if you put Hagar into an evil setting. I mentioned before immediately that this game has story of all things, and pretty much every single character here has a unique reason to be in the tournament that is held by Hyperion. And if you look at most of the bios that you see down right here, you'll notice there's something called Rival right next to, at the very end of their story bio. So for example, Lex has to fight against Killbot 9000, Crystal against CEO and Original, Billy Strifix with Heckbane and everything else. So yeah, this game even has interesting story features for characters that you would usually see things in Street Fighter 4 where, oh yeah, hey, down the line, as soon as you get to the final stage or the almost close to final stage, you fight against a rival. And it's pretty interesting too because honestly, some of these characters have, well, okay, let me just be real. Some of these characters look pretty cool when you look at it. And then you got characters like ToeJam and Earl where they gotta fight against Yooka-Laylee of all things. So it's like Sega versus Nintendo 64, or the spiritual successor to Nintendo 64, because can you imagine Banjo-Kazooie versus ToeJam and Earl at this time of day? Well, you kinda can, but with Yooka-Laylee and, with that kind of thing going on. But this game, in its own sense, doesn't exactly need to take itself seriously. It's actually kind of rather silly, but let me just say, it's pretty fun. In fact, have a look at these unique story intros to some of the characters here.
He is crime-ridden no more. Thanks to the efforts of its beloved Prime Minister, you've got my vote.
Kiss my baby! Please, kiss my baby!
The Prime Minister takes a more hands-on approach than most.
He was only littering. You commit the crime, you do the time. With my fists.
But Billy Strikefist is not content with solving the problems of his own homeland. He dreams of something bigger.
Huh. I've cleaned up all the streets here. I need more streets!
Because there is a whole wide world outside of his home, who needs his skills now more than ever?
Why is Strikefist looking at me like that?
Hey, where'd he go?
Welcome to the tournament, Strikefist. Away from the spotlight of the Mighty Fight Federation tournament, an underappreciated servant takes some time for himself. He's rudely interrupted. You're up, and not for the first time. But as Tombstone stared at his loss and clean up that mess, he vowed that it would be the last.
Better put your good boots on, mate. I'm coming for you.
Welcome to the tournament, Tombstone. Deep in the bowels of Hyperion's domain, the powerful ruler was forming a deal with a very nefarious colony. And why would I want these two troublemakers in my realm? Very well, I accept. But pulling fighters into my domain doesn't just happen. It requires consummate planning and pinpoint timing to reach out to these beings across the multiverse. Indeed. Welcome to the tournament, Yooka-Laylee. Business is booming for the warrior known as CEO, the man who owns everything. But that doesn't mean all is well. For when you own everything, where else is there to go?
The line is flat.
We've completely maximized profits. There's no more money anywhere else.
You're fired.
What?
You're fired too.
Should we get lunch?
Also fired.
And so, when a mysterious stranger arrived and presented to CEO the opportunity of a lifetime, he was intrigued.
I want licensing rights.
No.
Branded confection stands.
No.
Animation rights.
No.
Drinks?
Included. It was the most difficult negotiation of his life. But CEO had a plan to create profits beyond his wildest dreams. All he had to do was win.
Deal.
Pleasure doing business with you. And he always won. Welcome to the tournament, CEO. Man cries out in anguish.
No!
Betrayed by the government that used him like a rabid dog, he rages against the source of his pain.
So long, Stingray. Anytime you even think of coming after us, remember that we have your precious Maria.
Bastards! Let her go!
And makes a promise to the one he loves most.
Maria, I will come for you. Because we all know a stingray never forgets.
Huh? Welcome to the tournament, Stingray. The Mighty Fight Federation is in need of a ratings boost. So the Lord of the tournament has reached out to the one warrior he loves the most. Himself. Just the omnipotent god I wanted to see. I knew you were coming. Of course you did. My tournament needs more hype. Can't ever have enough hype. And who's the hypest warrior we know? This guy! I humbly accept your invitation. I knew you were gonna say it. Welcome to your tournament, Hyperion. A great warrior strides the halls in one of the most dangerous places in all the multiverse, Neketsu High School.
This sucks. Why do I have to go to the principal's office? I didn't even do anything this time.
Cuneo, Cuneo, Cuneo. What am I gonna do with you? Countless truancies, dimensions.
Huh? Wait, you're not the regular guy.
Constantly fighting with anyone and everyone. Defeating all in your wake. In other words, you're perfect for my tournament. Welcome to the tournament, Kunio.
Aside from the arcade and story mode, there's a lot of modes that you can really access into. You can go to training where you can practice your combos. There's some trials that you can try out to figure out how to utilize your character's unique combos. And of course, the free-for-all where basically if you have 4 people or more together, you can basically play in a free-for-all 4-player battle frenzy. There's also team versus in which you can fight against each other. In this case, you can fight against each other on 2v2, or if you really like to be bold, 3-on-1. And the soundtrack for this particular game is absolutely amazing. Like, you got a lot of interesting good bangers in this particular game. And there's even some unique, I want to say, themes and even some original character themes that you would hear as well, including some remixes for Toe Jam and Earl and Yooka-Laylee of all things. And also from the River City Ransom and Bloodstain for both Miriam and Kunio and Ricky. Interesting enough, there's even like a music artist from Rocky 4 that's involved with this as well. Pretty cool, right? Like, this is actually pretty cool that a fighting game has a lot of musical arrangements and even soundtracks that I'm like, wow, they actually kick pretty much a lot of ass. I like it. So yeah, pretty much what I've mentioned before. This game is basically Power Stone versus, or in this case, Power Stone meets Smash Brothers. How this particularly works is like this. You have, in this case, a regular amount of lives, and you basically have to drain all of your opponent's health down to 0. Once you lose all of your stock and, of course, lose all of your health, you're immediately eliminated. There's a thing that's called hype around every single character's name, is essentially their given super. Some characters are given counter supers, some characters have AoE supers, and some characters just have unique, straightforward supers that only can lunge into one person. So, if that wasn't enough for you, pretty much all the levels are very Power Stone-like-esque kind of thing. And of course, some characters have unique moves and abilities that are only exclusive to them. For example, for Kunio and Ricky, they only have access to be able to pick up projectiles and weapons on the ground, similar to what you can usually do back in River City Ransom. And for particularly with some characters like Toe Jam and Earl, they are able to switch places and even be more consistent. Or to be more precise, think of Zelda and Sheik, or to be more recent, Pyra and Mithra. So, yeah, like I said, it's Power Stone meets Smash Brothers in this particular case. Also, a little bit on a side note, if you ever face, say, your friends that happen to think facing you on a 3v1 is a really good idea, and then they completely forget that, you have a lot of experience when it comes to multiversal fighting games like this, odds are you're gonna have a lot of fun and probably some salty moments that make you question, am I really too OP? Because, well, that's what happened at this moment when I was making this video. Oops. Oh, and let me talk about the stages with this game. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. This really definitely hit home on the whole 90s and 80s aesthetic. I mean, heck, you got stages for Toe Jam and Earl, Yooka-Laylee, for the River City Ransom Boys, for Miriam from Bloodstain. Kind of sad that she never really had an arcade mode so that we could see why she was in this game for a reason, but overall though, you gotta admit that some of these stages look really cool, and it really does capture like the whole 90s arena fighter vibe that I was really getting out from this. And my personal favorite stage is the Break Room Arcade. That itself I'll have to go into detail for another video, but yeah, these stages for this game is absolutely amazing. One final thing to talk about Mighty Fight Federation is that literally this game has crossplay available. And as for online matches that has been consistent, sad to say that I haven't been able to find anybody to play against online for this. But there's a lot of dip switches and, settings that you can play around just to go with your friends. But overall, this is pretty much one of my favorite indie games when it comes to fighting games. So, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to really talk about Mighty Fight Federation. So, if you happen to be interested in a new indie game or want to try something completely new, but also want to be familiar with some characters you may have seen pop up here and there, and of course, if you're looking for something for fun, then this is definitely the game for you. Honestly, I definitely recommend just playing with friends and everything because it gets very chaotic. And honestly, I really do like some of the characters, particularly my favorite character for the original concepts would be Billy Strikefist. I mean, the dude has Cody's tornado upper, he has like a guile somersault kick and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna work on another video from this game regarding one particular stage. Probably might be a small video compared to this one. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is about Mighty Fight Federation. Until then, see you guys in the next video. See ya!